I am live. We're going to play some Baritone Ukulele today, and I'm going to eat a grilled cheese sandwich. Let's edit our. Let me go put our link on to the website so everybody will come and join us and then can watch me have my lunch. Oops, I go up to the top here, go right here, space, control V, highlight, shift, highlight, leg, shift, highlight, link, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, slide up, wait for the update button. It's been getting slower and slower with the way the internet is going these days. And you start off the morning thinking, I don't need to shave today. And by the time you get to 2 o'clock, you're like, I really should have shaved today. I don't know. The idea would be if I would just shave every single day, I wouldn't run into these challenges. But you're going to be looking at sheet music and your baritone in your left hand anyway. So who cares what I look like? All right. I think we're fired up and running. It is 2:04. We're going to wait a minute or two while everybody loads in. Yeah, let's see. Terry's back. Terry has just been. Terry and I have been sharing grocery store stories. Cozy is in again. You guys are burning at both ends, man. Good for you. The problem with playing in the other group and then coming to this group is you really do have to switch from ukulele brain to baritone brain, and it's harder than you want it to be. Baritone time. While we're waiting for people to log in, I'm gonna shove this in my face. Sorry, not too sorry. You're all right. Let's make sure that I have the right paperwork here. Yankee Doodle baritone. Lunchtime, grilled cheese. Well, I went out. I was just going to grab a piece of bread and stick some peanut butter on it and shove my face. And Donna happened to be on a break herself. And she's like, you want grilled cheese? And I'm like, heck yes, I do. Oh, okay. Cozy's busy shoving food in her face, too. Hey, Michelina. The beauty of what we're finding, and I don't want this to sound anti-guitar by any means, because I love guitar and I love playing it and I love the challenge it presents. But I think what we're finding as we move into a new century and a new way of thinking is that having fun and enjoying making music is the same thing. It's probably more important than being good at it or going and treating it like it's some sort of monolith that we have to aspire to. And so that's why baritone ukulele and regular ukulele, a lot of people have figured out, I really do want to play guitar, but it's too hard. It's too hard. It's too much work. And I can play this other instrument. I get the same challenge from it without near the amount of pain and suffering. And so, yeah, so I think a lot of people have thought, well, I'll go away from guitar for a while. I'll try ukulele. Turns out it's fun to keep going. And then they're like, well, my skill set's a whole bunch better than it used to be. Maybe I'll go check it out again. So I'm with you, Terry. I think I had basically after college thought, well, guitar is just not going to be my thing. And then I started playing some piano, and that went pretty well, but it was never going to be something I was good at. And it just doesn't give back the way other instruments do. And then ukulele wandered in, and I was just having so much fun and so much just enjoying making music. Um, and then of course then I venture back to baritone, and then venture back to guitar, and then you toss in a harmonica and play. We got a machine that makes all this sort of Macintosh music come to life and all that stuff. So. All right. This will wait till the end. All right. Let's make some music. Palisade Peach. Put it right here. I'm gonna put all this here so you can. I'll put it right there. Right there proves that life is good. Palisade Peach and a grilled cheese made by your wife. That's as good as life gets. Yeah, when at some point you're like, well, it's not going to be what I thought it was, but this makes it worth sticking around. Yankee Doodle. Here's what we're playing. Let me give you a very quick discussion of some of the stuff that we need to talk about. Tomorrow is our second ever baritone concert. Last week we did a nice job of getting you guys up and running. I hope you're feeling comfy with this. Those of you who are playing other instruments may be struggling with getting the right chord on at the right time, that sort of thing. And some of you, this is your instrument, and this is going to be a new experience for you, and probably a little bit challenge, hopefully. So we're gonna turn this. No matter where you're at in your musical career, we're going to treat this as building the foundation for baritone ukulele, and then who knows where you'll take it. Maybe this takes you to guitar. Maybe this takes you to just being the greatest baritone ukulele player out there. It's not. It's a very small community, and so you could be number one. Maybe it's just something you're enjoying doing, and just finding a nice challenge every day to come and see what you can get out of this thing. Tomorrow is our second concert. We will play this week's music, so we're going to play Three Blind Mice, Brahms Lullaby, and Yankee Doodle. We'll also grab some of the strummers. Almost for sure, we will play Waltzing Matilda as a sing-along, and we might play a couple others off of that page. And you probably want to go ahead and bring along My Spaghetti Monster, because it's really the foundation for everything that we're working, not everything we're working on this week, but for most of everything that we're working on this week. So bring that along. What I recommend with your concert book is put the sheet music in there in alphabetical order, and then anything that's like a worksheet or just information, I either put that in the front of the book or the back of the book, but I keep all of my sheet music in the book in alphabetical order. And I think that that's probably the easy way just to start building the book you work on every day. And then the songs you're actively working on, just put one of those sign here stickies type things on there, and that way you don't just have this giant book of paper, but that you have a giant book of paper with the focus in on whatever you're working on at any given time. And let's see, I'm trying to think, who am I trying to think of? Miguelina. Hey, Diane. So everybody's being enthusiastic about my grilled cheese and my peach. What we're working on is making practice time productive and easy. So having a book to get together in a very predictable thing, it's helpful. So you only want to print out the sheet music once, put it in alphabetically. You play that until you get word that I have updated the piece of paper, and then you replace that. Hey, Lanny. So set your book up that way, and when we get done with intro to baritone, if you guys are like, you know what, I got this, I want to keep going, we can start adding in more complex pieces as after we finish this first round of intro. I'm basically using this first round of intro to baritone to get the sheet music up to date. I have all of it done for ukulele, but it takes some doing to switch it over to baritone, and so I'm doing that for your solo stuff. Then I want to go back through and I want to do it for ensemble stuff. So if you happen to know somebody who has gone through the same thing ukulele wise, they will grab their sheet music, you'll grab your ensemble baritone piece, and you guys can play together. And so that's the next thing I have on my list to do. And then of course I want those songs that we feel like, hey, let's do just a baritone only solo version of whatever song you happen to be into. I want to be working on that as well. I have plenty of stuff to keep us busy after this. I have enough baritone private students that I write a lot for. And so I keep those guys they actually, for the most part, the music I write for them ends up being the music that we do here. um, and Vic is down with baritone. She says, "Yep, let's keep them coming." So we're going to keep them going, and I'm going to be using them mostly to get my sheet music together and all of this stuff together. I've got all of this stuff done for ukulele, and like I say, it takes a little bit to switch it over to baritone, but it works the same way. You guys actually have, as you know, because you've got a low string here, you gives you some other options in terms of playability. Sometimes I can make stuff much easier to play on a baritone than I can on a ukulele because I just have a few more notes, and that can change the key that it goes into and change the playability and for me, this sounds weird, but if it's hard to play, I'm not so sure that I want to do it. I have the kind of the opposite attitude that college trained guitarists have, or college trained musicians. They just want the hard stuff. They're no longer interested in playing anything that's easy. And the problem with the hard stuff is sometimes it doesn't sound good, and so you end up, when you go to a guitar concert of these advanced classical guitars, sometimes they play music that's hardly music, but it's very hard and very challenging, and they've enjoyed the challenge. But as an audience member, you're like, I don't like that song. Could you play Moon River? And so for me, the music that I'm giving to you guys is almost always going to sound pretty, and is probably going to be relatively playable. And playable is a different level for everybody, but I don't like to just write music that's hard just to be hard. We have a few people in the orchestra who do that, and that's their bag. That's good for them. But for me, I want it to flow beautifully out of this machine, and I want it to not ruin my day getting it out. And so that's what's going on. And we'll keep that music coming at you. The other thing that I want to make sure you know is, if you're, I think all of you guys are Americans. I'm not positive, but most of you are Americans. But if you're not, we have a holiday on Monday, Labor Day, and so we would be taking that off anyway. But my wife was able to get her Tuesday off as well. So we're going to take Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and so I'm not going to be writing any music or doing anything for this 4-day weekend. So we're not going to meet on Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and post stuff up for you guys to be working on. So you will still have plenty to keep you busy. I'm going to try to get all that posted tonight. I don't know if I'll succeed or not, but I'm going to try. And so that you will know, so you'll have something to do each day. I just won't be here while you're doing it, kind of thing. And that's it. Okay, so that's what's going on next week. It'll be a short week. I won't be here Monday, Tuesday, but we will be here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we'll have our regular Friday jam. Right? It doesn't seem like a jam when you're sitting there in your house by yourself, but really every day when we come together and you're working on playing at the same pace as me, that's the same as going to a jam. It's the same as playing with a metronome. It's the same as playing to the recordings. All of that stuff is just designed where if you're playing with somebody else and you're working through the music with somebody else, it makes you a much better player, much faster. I meet lots and lots of, especially guitarists who bought a guitar back in the day. They played it a little while and ended up under the bed because they stopped showing up either for groups or lessons or whatever, and their musical progress stopped. That will not happen with you. You just keep showing up, and believe me, it won't be long before you're playing better than I do. Okay. I spend most of my time writing music, not most of my time practicing. If you do the opposite of that, don't write music, but practice a lot, you're going to go right past me. And that's okay. That's what I want. All right, let's talk Yankee Doodle. Those of you who are Americans know we don't care about this song, really. And those of you who aren't Americans are not sure why you have to play this song. But the reason we play this song is that it works out perfectly for us in terms of beginning to understand the difference between first position, third position, and so on. So I want to talk first about the chords. Okay, so G chord, love that chord. Okay, we like that one. We can live with that. Your D chord on baritone can be a bit of a booger when you first start. You want to have your index finger on the third string, second fret, middle finger on the first string, second fret, ring finger out here, third fret, second string. Okay, so there's your D chord. Okay. And then the other chord that we have in this song is C. Okay, and that one we've been working on all week. So those are your 3 chords. Let's run through and sing this. Make sure you know how Yankee Doodle goes. Okay. First time through, strum. Okay. And again, where the neck and the body come together, that's going to be create the prettiest sound. You can play down here. You get a different sound altogether, right? Sounds like an old radio or something. Or if you play above the hole, it's probably fine. But the softest and prettiest sound is right there. Big difference in the overall tonality of what your strings sound like as you go down. That sounds kind of cool down there, right next to the bridge. Sounds like a completely different instrument. Okay, let's play from the top. Oh, the first time through, we're strumming. Second time through, plucking. Okay, thumb, index, middle, ring. Don't use your pinky. Thumb on the top, index underneath the third, underneath the second, underneath the first. Bum. Okay, and then all in the knuckles, a little bit in your wrist. Nothing in your elbow. Don't be doing that. Okay. Here we go. From the top, first time strum, second time pluck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony. Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Okay, put a fermata on there for the tough you. Don't worry about that right now. Back to the top. Grab your plucks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony. Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Hopefully that's going smoothly for you. If it's not, we just need to spend a little bit more time strumming and singing, right? And if you're a terrible singer, like I am, you just make sure you close the door when you practice. If nothing else, hum while you're doing it. The business of strumming and singing is not going away anytime soon in your life. It does come all around, and as you know, I give you an option to not do that, as in the melody lines and in the tough uke lines. But I seriously think that it's a good idea for you to include a little bit in that. One, teaches you to breathe a little bit better, which is not bad. But the more important thing is you are going to end up probably going to a ukulele strum along at some point. You're going to have the low voice. They're going to be delighted you're there. They're like, oh, thank God we have a baritone player. We need somebody with the deeper voicing on this. And they're all going to be singing. And so you want to have had some practice just strumming and singing with yourself, so that when you go meet with them, you're all set. You know what you're doing. Again, with strumming, it doesn't matter what's going on in the melody. The melody is 100% irrelevant. It's 4/4, 4 beats. That's what matters. And so whatever you do with this hand has to equal 4 in some manner. You could do an 8. Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony. So that's an 8 count over here. But it's still it's still 4 at the end of the day. It's just twice 4. And so the more time you spend doing that and just getting comfortable where it's no big deal for you, the better it'll be when you get together to play with other people. All right, let's play the melody. This is where we talk about positioning. Okay. Normally, if it's a 1, we play it here. If it's 2, it's here. It's a 3, it's here. It's a 4, it's this. So, right? So first position, first, second, third, fourth. But this song has 2 separate positions that we played in. The first part of the song, we're going to play it down in third position. Now, here's why. There's no 1s or 2s in the beginning of this song. The first, there's only 1, 2, I guess I should say, in the beginning of the song, and it happens in measure 4. Everything else is either 3 or higher. So it makes sense to play in this third position. Second thing that's going to happen is, our fingers will be moving around less, right? And just hanging out. So now it's going to be 3, 4, 5. Your ring finger's on 5. This is on 6. There are no 6, but there are some 7s. And so it's going to be easy for that little pinky finger to jump up there. There's one place where it's got to jump clear up to 8. That's going to pull your whole thing out of position. But then we slide back to 7 and get back into third position. Along about measure 7, this song drops back into first position. And so all you're going to do there is when it's time, you just go back into your normal playing position. Okay. We want to be mindful as baritone players, more so even than on ukulele. Your frets are kind of far apart. So you don't want to be hanging out down here in first position and then suddenly have to be diving up here to find your 10 or your 9 or your 8. That's going to usually fail. You're usually, as your hand is flying up here, it's not going to go well. So if you get where you're positional playing, you're like, all right, in this part of the song, I'm going to play in first position. This part I'm third position. Sometimes I'll play in fifth, seventh. Seventh position is your sort of your high position, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then we'll usually use our pinky to grab our 12. You will find none of my sheet music do I ever go above 12. Now, as baritone players, you actually can take advantage of your 15 there. That's not an absolutely horrid note. On ukulele, that's a horrid note. But you could actually use your 15s and your 12s. But when I write arrangements, I don't really like to play those notes. And I mean, let's get a different instrument to play those notes. Yours will always end at 12. Okay. Danny Boy goes to 12. I think that's the only one that I know that we will for sure be having up to 12. Now, let's go talk about once you're in third position at the beginning of this song. Let's go ahead and play the tune. And remember, when you're 7s, your pinky's going to have to reach over to grab the 7. Otherwise, everything's going to be here until we move to first position and measure 7. Okay, so let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 3, 5, 7. 3, 7, 5. Bunny hop. 3, 3, 3, 5, 7, 3. Now here you slide down to 2. 2. Slide right back up. 3, 3, 5, 7. Slide up. 8. Slide back. 7, 5, 3. Second position or first position. 2, 3. Oh, 2, 3, 3. Oh, 2, oh, 3, oh, 2, 3, 3, oh, 3, 1, oh, 3, oh, 2, oh, 3, oh, 2, 3, oh, 3, 3, 2, 5, 3, 3. I should have mentioned you're going to reach for that 5 at the very end there. I keep forgetting that. It's notes hanging out there. Okay. How'd that go? Pretty smooth, hopefully. If you're new to tablature reading, obviously you're still working on getting that thing to turn upside down and remembering that string on the top of your paper is the string on the bottom here. When you first learn tablature, you're going to hit a lot of wrong notes. You're going to hit the wrong strings. You're going to be holding the wrong frets. But over time, and really, guys, 3 weeks in, it will no longer be an issue. The fact that it's written upside down, your brain will magically turn it over, and you'll stop having to worry about that. It's a little like riding a bike. You gotta kind of put in your time, first 2-3 weeks, and then one day your brain just magically turns that over, and it'll stop being an issue. So let's play the melody one more time, and then we're ready to dive into tough uke. Okay, from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. And be super aware, because you're baritone players, you have a lot more sustain than the other instrument. Okay, that means you have to have very good end of song behavior with your left hand. Don't ever, when you're done playing the note, lift up. Don't. Just tell yourself, you'll never do that in the history of your life. That should be a rule. Rule one, thumb. Rule two, I don't let go of my last chord no matter what. Okay, your baritone is going to keep ringing, all this sympathetic vibration of these deep strings. You're going to hear this thing, and so just let that thing ring out. If you have to stop it, your hand comes down, slides up over the bridge and over the saddle to stop it. Don't clonk down on it. You'll see me do that once in a while. That's bad behavior, right? Make sure you hold on to this until the very dead last. And when you're for sure, then your audience is already screaming and yelling and throwing their shirts up on the stage. Then you can take off your cord. But until then, hold. Let that ukulele finish doing its job completely. Okay. Now, got that put together. Let's walk through the tough uke. There's one super cool thing that we're going to find in here that we get to do, and then we'll continue this journey of putting chords and melody together. So you know the chords, okay? Hard one's the D chord. The other two aren't too bad, and you have the melody down. We're going to play a lot of this. It's going to look a whole lot like we're playing the melody, but then there's going to be moments when we're going to be looking like we're playing the chords. So let's start with your 3 here, and we're going to strum all the way down and play the 3. And then we're going to hit the 3 again. Then we're going to use our ring finger to hold the 5 down. Looks like we're playing melody, right? It's just that we're strumming everything down at a moment. And then up to 7, back to the 3. Back to the 7, ring on 5, bunny hop to the 3, okay, index on 3, 5, pinky on 7, nice 3 here again. Here's where you have to put the whole chord on. D chord goes on, okay, play the whole chord, okay, back to 3rd position. Ring finger on 5, pinky on 7. Here's the fun thing we do today. We're going to slide that up to 8, and then this is your bar. Drop it in on top of 5. Very exciting. Probably the first time you do it, it's going to sound like this. That's fine. Okay, if you squeeze a little bit harder with your left hand, you get. Okay, that's a high C chord is what that is. Bar on 5, pinky on 8. That's a different type of C chord. Take your ring finger, replace your pinky, and make the 7. And then you have 5, 5, 5, 5. So let's strum that. Now grab your ring finger on 3. Now you're back in 1st position. Okay, measure 7. You're actually going to put your full D chord on. Play that. Hit the 3 again. Lift up your middle finger to get 0, 2, 3, 0. Put your 2 back down. And then regular G chord. Okay, make your open C chord. Use your ring finger to get that 2, and then lose it. Pinky finger up on 3, and then an open F chord or open C chord at 10. Ring A finger, and then pinky up on 3. Okay, measure 11, 0, 0, 3. Remember your rest stroke. It's right from Spaghetti Monster and 3 Blind Mice. Hit the 0, 0, 0, 3 again. Hit the 1, then 0, 0, 0, then 0, 0, 3. Again, making sure you're rest stroking. Get your F chord on, C chord on. Gosh darn it. Measure 13, C chord. Ring finger on 2. Open. Pinky on 3. C chord open. Ring finger on 2. Pinky on 3. Open. Put your full D chord on. Add your pinky up on the 3 of the 1st string. Then take it right back off and strum. Reach it way out want to get that 5. Some of you in the beginning are not going to be able to do this. This is something that's going to come up as a D chord with your pinky on 5. It's a pretty big stretch on baritone. So just know we're going to be working on getting that pinky out here. Okay, play that. Okay, in this case, it's supposed to just be by itself, and then 003. And again, listen how long this thing's going to ring. So there. Okay. These 2 metal strings go on for a while, and so just let that baritone continue to do what it does. Even if you're not holding down those strings, you hold down whatever you ended up with, and then just let the thing ring in this nice, beautiful chord at the end. Okay? We're going to play this twice. Okay? Just thumb down the whole way through, both times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again from the top. Go. It's right up there with Metallica's Queen of Puppets, right? King of Puppets, Queen of Puppets, Queen of Puppets. If that's going well, you're set for life. Okay. Big thing we're taking away from this is, hey, I know my chords, I know how to play melody, and now I know how to combine them together. At least reading the tablature. You don't have to know how to do it, right? That's my job. My job is to put the sheet music together for you. For now, over time, obviously, I want you doing that on your own, and you go work on whatever ridiculous songs you like, right? I'm a big fan of Yankee Doodle. That's why I work on that. But ultimately, we're trying to get your comfort level where you can just be sight reading this as we go along. And you're like, yep, I've seen this a million times because I played 100 different songs with Gary, and it's just popping in and just jumping out of my instrument just very nicely. When you can play something well slow, you will be able to play something well fast, but you got to get where you can play it well slow first, and where you're very mindful and methodical about how you're moving your hands on the fretboard. So I'm trying to think of a good example. This song, several times I found myself sliding back into first position because that's where my comfort place is, even though I've just taught the lesson about using third position, right? Uh, but I was okay, even though I made the wrong choice by jumping down here with this, because I've done that a few times, right? And so in the beginning, you're like, all right, I'm learning my third position, and then you make a mistake, and you're like, oh crud, now I'm in the wrong position, and you end up feeling this cognitive dissonance, and you're not sure what to do next. But the more you play, the less of that you have. You're always going to have it at some level, but certain things start to become easier and more confident with you as you practice a little bit. And so hopefully that's coming out music out of your instrument and it's making some sense. What we did today was we reviewed the G chord, the D chord, and the C chord. Those are coming up in your life, okay? And so get where those are a part of what you do. Some of you are playing ukulele in addition to baritone, and you are having a different struggle. Your struggle is that it says G, you grab a G, then you find out you're really supposed to be on a C, which is a G, and so you're fighting that, and you're going to be working on building capacity in your noggin for here's where ukulele world is, here's where baritone world is. I don't want to get those two things confused. So that's a separate issue you're working with. Next thing we're working on, we didn't work hardly at all on right hand other than some strumming with your thumb and plucking with all four fingers. We're going to be next week. I think it's next week, we really start to build up additional capacity in your right hand. Because at the end of the day, what this tells the instrument what type of music to make, but this tells it how to make it. And so the music comes out of your right hand, not your left hand. Then next thing we worked on was just playing melody. Again, we're going to work on that every time we get together. That, in my mind, is the most important thing I do is teach people how to play melody on a fretted instrument, because so often in so many lessons, that's what they're working on, and that's fine. But that's a cul-de-sac on the highway of music. Strumming chords is this one little idea that people do, putting everything together in a giant package that you can do as a soloist or an ensemble player. That's a different, that's the highway. That's the highway. Strumming is this little cul-de-sac, and I don't want you to get stuck in that cul-de-sac. It's a great cul-de-sac. There's a lot of really nice people that live there, but you want to be on the main highway, getting yourself where you can completely command all of the things on this instrument. And then the third thing you did, of course, was just put it all together in a nice little package. And that's going to be hard, guys. And so be patient with yourself as we move forward. That it's probably never going to feel like you're really there. I've been playing a long time and I'm still working on getting there. Okay. So just know that in the beginning, it's going to feel like a whole lot. The nice thing about it is your head's full, right? When you're playing tough uke, you're not thinking about your problems in life. You're thinking about what's 0005. What the heck does that mean, right? Pretty soon it comes out of your fingers. That's what I know, guys. So tomorrow we have a concert. Remember to add in My Spaghetti Monster from last week into this week, because it's the beginning of this week. And so you'll be playing My Spaghetti Monster. We'll be doing that Make a Better Bar worksheet. We'll be playing Three Blind Mice. We'll be playing Brahms, and we'll be playing Yankee Doodle again. We'll also be playing. We'll hold off the C strums until the end, and then we'll just play as many as we have time to squeeze in. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Your plan for tonight is just to make sure that you got all your pieces of sheet music in your book, and that you're not afraid to write on your sheet music, right? Some of you are neatniks and you put them in little plastic sleeves, and that's not going to be helpful for you. You got to write on your music to make it real. And so leave yourself little chicken scratches and little notes, because there'll come a point where you're a fine musician and you're a fine baritone player, and somebody's going to say, will you teach me how to play? And you're going to pull out your notebook from this class, and you're going to be like, all right, Frere Jacques. And if you have some chicken scratching notes about what you went through, then you'll know how to help the next person get through those as well. When you start picking other positions, it can get a little crazy. Getting the ukulele, your ukulele is, your internet connection is unstable. So I'm probably about either to lose you or there's going to be a big pause in what we're talking about. So it's a great time to eject. I'll see you at grocery store, Terry. That's fun. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. I'm excited about this class. I'm very excited about playing this little guy, and please keep showing up, and we're gonna turn you into fine musicians. And if you're not already, most of you are already. All right, Cozy. I'll see you soon, Terry. See you at the grocery store, Linda. Yeah, Linda. That's the problem with this. And for those of you who really want to challenge, this is tuned in the wrong tuning. Normally, DGBE is the worst possible tuning they could have thought up for this. It needs to be tuned up at least another step, right? It needs to be about a third off from the ukulele, not a fifth. And so I would say if you want to give yourself the next challenge, you start tuning this guy up. It'll sound better, by the way. Let's see. Michelina, I'll see you tomorrow. Lanny, great class. Rooting for the gecko. Ray, good to see you, bud. See you soon. Carol, thanks for being listening. You're welcome, Carol. Thanks for being here so often. Another tuning. Yikes. Yeah. Instead of D, G, B, E, you tune it up 1 to E, A, C sharp, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp. So it's A tuning instead of D tuning. That'll give you one more thing to mess with. E tuning, I don't know. It sounds better when you tune it up, but it creates a whole set of different chords and the whole thing. You're going to for sure end up being a soloist if you do different tunings on it. So, all right, kids, have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Ending the stream.